me introduce a man who's all the rage. The last brave people to approach the stage. He's got many chairs lined up in a row. For those people, just relax. The rest, enjoy the show. You'll see the best show of your life. If you don't believe me, just ask his family, his kids, and his wife. His wife and him had problems, the kind you might call sin. But after seeing Boris' show, he just let it sink in. Now, clap along with me, people, cause right now you're the chorus. And please help me welcome the incredible Boris. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I get to clap at my own introduction.
Yeah, get the clap. That's how it is. Okay, we're now live from my bedroom on location. That's where we are. That's what I'm saying we're doing. That's where we is. And one of the criteria is, can I sleep here? And this is a lovely home. And I'm in the home of a mentor and a friend. And now a guy who's got his own family that are bigger than my kids. And I am just excited to be here. And I sang that song. He made me sing that song in front of 50,000 people. It was 5,000, but, you know, it gets bigger every year. That's how this business works. We're born fishermen. That's what we do.
PR.
Right, I'm doing my own PR, and I'm kicking my own mic stand. That was no good. So I am here with the incredible Boris. Everyone I work with, and I have had on the podcast, or Palmcast such far, is someone who has another name. Like Ron the Music Guy, Flip. No one has a name. This is the incredible Boris, ladies and gentlemen. And how are you, sir?
Well, hello.
Well, hello. All right, so here we are, again, as I say, live from my bedroom on location. And I am always talking to people who are involved in this crazy business. And this is a guy who has been in the business longer than most of the people I've talked to thus far, actually performing in the performing side. Well, my Zadie, he was on the Palmcast. He performed a little longer than you, but he doesn't do what you do.
And he's got a little bit of time on me as well, right?
That's true. You can keep doing this right into the end, like we're in Vegas. That could be a Vegas scenario. And you'll be there for your 100th birthday. They'll invite you at Sneezers, and you'll show up, and you'll do another show. Yeah, which would be great. So you were here talking performance. We're talking being a performer, and always the downtime of being a performer. I mean, it's nice to work all the time, and then you would like to work all the time. You got the little thing there you can play with too. We're now here live from your home. That's where we are. We're in your office,
which is sort of my bedroom home,
which is bigger. Your office is bigger than my bedroom.
It's an office. I always have to run away, close the door, and that's why there's windows on it. You can always see that I'm still in there.
Really, don't you feel like it's like a human aquarium? Maybe now that I just actually noticed that we are surrounded by windows. I feel like swimming now. I don't know why.
It gives it a nice light feel. This way, whatever I do, I can throw papers around and do all of the business things, which is my way to run away into this room, and this is the business side of things.
Yeah, and as I introduced you as my mentor, the man who clearly wanted to let me see what the road and what... I'm from theater. I understand stage. At 8 years old, I didn't know Boris. I had directed and produced my own live production in school. I've always wanted to be involved in performing, singing, something on stage.
And you were an entertainer.
That's what I am.
Exactly
there's a stage. I want to get on it. I want to perform. And I didn't really understand the world of the clubs. I mean, I had a little taste, but it was through music because my grandparents were agents, and I went to live venues like that and understood that kind of how you kind of get yourself involved with music. Even just stand at the side of the road. You could stand at the side of the road, put out your hat, pick up a guitar, and I made $50 one night. I understand that business. People, but I don't know if you stood at the side of the road telling jokes. You know, I don't think that's going to work.
That would be kind of interesting, unless they're insult jokes.
And what about you? You're a hypnotist doing it on the road. Let it sink in. You know, hold on, slow down, let it sink. And then you got to let them kind of go, venture off. If they did stay for the 25 minutes that it would take them to be hypnotized, you would then just.
Well, it's not that long, but yeah, it's street hypnosis.
Oh, it doesn't take 25. It doesn't take 25 minutes.
No, but it is a building process. So.
The deepness. I'm seeing that your neck is constantly sliding on you.
Oh, and that's me
Tighten the hell on the other side. Tighten the hell out of it. Yeah, there you go. Okay, sorry
There
about
we go.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to, and if I just a reminder, no swearing on this show, huh?
Bring back my stuff. No, it's actually. Well, I'm sure we'll get to it eventually, but. Both of us were involved in a club called Comedywood, which was
Comedy. I've never heard of this place. Does it exist? I've never.
well, no, it doesn't exist anymore.
I've seen the watch. I've seen the shirt. I've seen the jacket. I got the cup. I got the today.
Yeah.
I just got the cup today.
And they still are around. But Comedywood was a dream come true where, as a variety performer, I didn't have a stage to perform on. So when people said, put your money where your mouth is, I did. And created a stage for funny people. And the stage for funny people was bigger, was brighter, was more exciting than anything else this town has ever had.
Right, it was a large stage. Like, it wasn't like something at the O'Keefe scenario, like a big open, like crazy. It had a lot of chairs, like 400 plus.
Just a little over 400 capacity.
Wow.
And
had the 2-tiered levels, which made it, and you had to see what you have that the Hughes room, like I like to talk to you about that at some point. The Hughes room there's no poles anywhere. There's no second floor.
Oh, nice. Okay.
There's nothing upstairs, so there's no poles, and you can see from any corner. It is such a fantastic room. And he's like, well, I can't wait to build on top. And I was like, no, you build on top. You've lost downstairs.
You lost downstairs, exactly.
Yeah.
And we finally found a room that was conducive to comedy.
Yeah.
High enough ceilings, but not too low. Also, as far as the ability to hold enough people, we built it in the area that didn't have any entertainment whatsoever. And I grew up in this neighborhood, and I wanted to give people a chance not to have to go downtown.
If you don't know where we are, because I just said we're in his home, and I'm not going to put on the GPS and tell people where you live, but I am going to say that we are in Thornhill, and that's they took the sign down, and I think I'm part of why they took that sign down. It used to say when you came down the Yonge Street just before you got to like Royal Orchard, which is very close to Southern Ontario. It says, welcome to Central Ontario.
Right, exactly. We
Tourism.
just left what it was considered Toronto at one point in time.
But we are in Thornhill, and I grew up in this neck of the woods, so it's a very lovely place to have
we're in the
a
suburb
family.
of Toronto.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're listening,
I would
from
never say
somewhere
that.
Even outside that, but
I never would
on
tell
the
people that.
outskirts.
Yeah, I traveled the world, and because of you, I've traveled the world. You sent me to China, and there, when people said, "Where are you from?" I said Thornhill. Clearly, I didn't want to people. And where is that? Because people have a thing about Ontario and Toronto. There's a stigma that I'm not from Toronto. I even say Toronto. My father thinks it's a lisp, but because if you're from here, you say Toronto, and that's how people know that you're from here. And so I say Toronto, and they say, "Where are you from? CNNville?" And I am not, but I would love to bring you the news, and the news is here to be had. Okay, and your lovely wife is coming in. You're handing off. Do you only have the one phone? It's only the one phone you own?
Yeah, we just forwarded too. I forwarded.
Oh, I see. That's fantastic. So if you can get that out of here. And so I'm sitting in, as I said, your office, and you talked about Comedywood for just a second, and then the nostalgia of Comedywood is all around me. All the big and great performers that you brought to Thornhill. I mean, I'm not too sure why they would ever come to Thornhill before, unless they're coming over to my house for dinner, because Ralphie May came home for dinner for a week.
You know, a lot of these people were my friends just because being on the road all the time, and I did 300 plus shows a year for many, many years. These people, whether they worked with me, opened for me, I opened for them, we became friends. And a lot of the people that you saw on the stage were people who, for the hell of it, would come to Thornhill just because they wanted to experience a different room, maybe hone their craft. The whole thing, and I said it on many occasions in the past, if you're funny, there's a stage.
No, you're not wrong. And 8 shows is what you were offering. So you would come in. You came in as a middle, and if you don't know what that means, there's several placements, but there's different ways of looking how to produce a show. It's how much time you have and how much time you can control, and who are they coming to see? And if they're coming to see you, you're the headliner. Unless you're the one bringing the show, then you're doing 3 minutes at the beginning, and then you're bringing a bunch of people up because you're.
I'm Ray Romano. You know, I just wanted you to see my friends. I'm a mammoth elephant over here.
Okay, Ray, go back into your shoebox.
I'm a big guy. That's why we had to hire Brett Garrett. He's big too.
He's a monster. That guy's a monster. Anyway. So I'm looking around the room, and I'm seeing the people that you brought to life. Like people I never saw. I didn't actually remember Rod Stewart. Can I throw that out there?
Oh no, there's a few on there that I got a chance to go backstage.
I went through the
and
whole thing here, and I hit a thing that I don't think happened. But everything here's signed. People I worked with, I personally worked with. Hey man, I think we got high behind the bank, didn't we? All right.
no.
Mitch Hedberg. And, I don't even do drugs, but my girlfriend's sexier than you. And then we go, I don't know. I'm going to buy a sandwich. I got a sandwich over here. We got Jackie Mason. Now Aerosmith. Now that is Aerosmith, right?
That is Aerosmith. There's Elton
I don't
John
remember
on
the
here.
working at your house. I don't remember Aerosmith.
Richard Lewis, anybody from local. My personal favorite. By the way, not everybody was somebody that I necessarily worked with. Some of them I was a fan and
you
wanted
brought
to
them in.
introduce these people, like Wendy Liebman, who people just
Oh, yeah,
recently
she's-
got a chance
yeah.
to see.
You gotta
once
love her.
again
She's
on America's Got Talent.
Yeah, she's on the
who,
show. Did she win?
she didn't win, but boy, I'm so happy that she got exposed to that many people.
375,000 people. She had the likes beside her. 370.
Really?
Yeah.
Absolutely proud of that.
Yeah, I really liked her as a person and as a comedian. Her style is her style, and like I was saying, after 8 days of doing anything, you find yourself getting stronger.
Just because
you don't know if you told-
greatness and you don't realize how great these people are
Right.
until you actually see them. Perfect example, Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
Some people would absolutely love him, while others might not be able to get it to the same extent. And when you spend enough time with him, just like another one is Tommy Chong, where you turn on that switch and he becomes that character. I truly believe that Mitch was the same way, because I spent time with him doing press during the day, and then I saw him go on stage, and that character became Mitch Hedberg, which was unbelievable. From Jackie Mason, who first thing that he told me, "Oh, you're a club owner, you're a crook," which was to me unbelievable.
I know you're a crook.
Yeah.
I know you're a crook. You went into the business, and I know you're a crook. You're crooked.
And that's exactly how it sounded. Just being able to be around that greatness. And the club itself was my way of, I'm on the road a lot, let's see what we can do to keep me home a little bit more. That didn't work out.
No, it did. You were home a lot.
It gave me a chance to stay home a little bit more.
Right, that's what you just said. But it did actually do that for you. So that what your goal, your end game of working with the people you wanted to work with, open a variety club, because there still isn't a place for variety. There isn't. There's a lot of new comedy clubs opened up.
Right.
And they're not balancing things on their face. They're not promoted or owned by hypnotists. They don't have singing, songwriting Jewish people from Thornhill opening every night. They don't have what I would consider straight entertainment. I mean, in my world, stand-up comedy, even though it's supposed to be funny, is a stand-up philosophy. It's someone sucking you into a POV, and it may take a second or two, and then after you walk them down that path, you're just opening interesting doors that hopefully bring shock and awe, which turn into ha ha ha.
Right. Okay. Well, let me just harp on that a little bit. I wanted to bring to Toronto something that wasn't done before.
And you did. That's what I'm saying.
Comedy was,
and it's not being done now, is what I'm saying.
well,
there is no variety
hopefully
stage.
somebody will come around and
I'm
do
thinking the
that.
Hughes Room. We're promoting it to him now. We're thinking karaoke. I miss karaoke, and I never pitched it to your place because karaoke in my world takes a bar to an entertainment status, and you were already in entertainment status.
Right. We wanted a specific quality of which way we were going, and comedy earlier on in Toronto was all about shock value.
And you brought the bands too.
Yeah.
We brought bands in.
Something different.
Not Aerosmith, not Rod Stewart, but we let local bands come in during our open mic nights to perform after the shows as well. It was an open stage, and the phenomena of variety. And you brought something very... As I said, it's not happening right now. And that's why I'm kind of excited about... I want to repeat the Hughes Room thing, but that's something...
And, well, I considered it more of a showcase club. Similar to New York and Los Angeles, where sometimes comedians will come in to do guest sets, and we peppered a portion of the show with guest sets where people came in. And I am so ecstatic that some of these people are huge superstars by now that got a chance to hone their craft and were moved into other spots that were starting stuff off that are at this point in time traveling the world.
Right, but before you get to that spot, I'm saying you opened it was an open stage, and I'm going to be going
Oh, the
backwards
stage
to
wasn't open; it was pre-booked. And
no,
you
no,
were
no,
involved
no,
in some
no,
of that
no.
pre-booked.
See that?
I know.
Right. So you know what? That's why it felt like an open stage. What it was open to variety. When it was like, where are you going to take Stevie Starr, a guy who's swallowing stuff? He can take stuff that isn't in his mouth and in his uvula.
Yeah, different things like
He swallows things and then
fish
regurgitates.
to, sugar to whatever. and
Yeah,
bring
no,
back
it was
up.
cool. He was threading needles.
It was entertaining. and
Yes,
that's what it was all about.
This is what I'm saying. And we had music, and we had a hypnotist, and we had a guitar.
Oh, never mind. I got a lot of flack for this, but I booked John Wayne Bobbitt, who decided to do a comedy at that point in time, if you remember.
Yeah, you know, I've seen his bits.
I think everybody else did too, but it was an off night that was offered to me to show people something different. And even though he never came, I did get a lot of flack for pushing a few buttons, like, who are you to book him? He's just doing comedy. Let's get people to come and laugh at what he has to say, or maybe not. It did the PR value, even though he wasn't allowed to cross the border, so he never came.
I'm just talking about an open stage. I was involved in booking that stage, so
Yes.
again, maybe I was thinking it was more open than not, because
No,
I was
it
open with
was-
ideas of just variety and who can I get on this stage that would be
Right.
awesome. And what I was saying was, you bring someone in who is a new talent, an up and coming talent, and you let them perform. Normally they perform once or twice a week, and 8 times a month.
They grow.
You give them a week. You gave them 8 shows to do, and
Right,
on
and I
Tuesday
put
they
them,
come in on
after
Tuesday,
they were
and on
good enough.
Sunday second show, who's the guy? This is a different person. He's crafted certain things to understand, because you'd bring them in under a certain law, and one of those laws, of course, was to try to keep it clean.
Yeah,
Keep
and
it clean.
If you remember,
have a dirty
headliners
set. You're
never
allowed.
got censored ever.
Oh no, the headliner. Well, here's your problem. You had an early show, and you had some serious people coming in who weren't known names, who weren't holding their hat on. That's what I do. I'm Andrew Dice Clay. I'm going to light a cigarette. I'm sorry, Mr. Clay, you can't light your cigarette. You've never done that. But when a kid came in who's a middle, and you're helping get to headlining status, and
Right.
he's just cussing out everybody by using every dirty word you could possibly think of, just because he's just trying to keep people looking, and you've done your best job as a club owner to say the lights are on, the microphone works, everyone is liquored up. Just tell them your jokes.
Right, exactly.
What are your jokes?
I think that vulgarity had a way, a well-placed vulgar word is not out of my realm. However, I wanted them to learn how to work clean. And that will open up doors to work everything from casinos to cruise ships
And
to
it did.
corporate.
You did.
And it did.
I couldn't believe, with your training of what I was thinking of, well-crafted jokes, not talking about the pornography and not talking about... You can imply these things.
Yes, absolutely.
Everyone
You
is
can
an
dance
adult in the
around
room.
subject.
I mean, the men in the room, every 15 seconds, you're not talking about sex, but they're still men, and they're sitting in the room, and they're thinking about, off-topic topics. So you can imply a lot of things from stage. And I remember when I was touring the East Coast, Boston and in New York, I got a lot of stage time because I was clean. Because
Right.
the shows start at 4
Because
o'clock in the
you were
afternoon.
universal.
Well, clean means you can go on at, well, for me it was going on at 4 p.m. for the wait staff, and then there's this comedy doesn't stop in New York and in Boston. It's not like
Right,
just
it's
one
an
show at
ongoing
night. It's
show,
this
exactly.
crazy thing, and I loved it. I loved being a part of it. But I did show up. I was playing in a game that I really didn't feel comfortable in the world of stand-ups and stand-up comedy. I mean, I clearly have something to say, and I still do, but being entertaining every 6 seconds, not scathing.
Mhm.
And I don't even know how to not do it properly, because all I can do is be scathing. Because all I can see is, that's the funny part. Someone's going to get hurt, but here it goes.
No subject is taboo.
That's right.
But there's ways of presenting the same thing in different manner. If you're able to deliver a joke, that joke is funny whether you put vulgarity in it or not. And to me, I didn't think you needed to. The way and I explain it a lot of times at that time, where you can bring your grandmother and the granddaughter to the show, with both of them not being able to have to want to walk away.
Sorry about
but
that.
enjoy the show at the same time.
Well, that's what you did. It's my grandfather worked in burlesque theater, so that's a different day. But so did my grandmother, so they were both utilizing both of their inner children. I got to swear a lot on the stages you weren't allowed to swear on, utilizing, like my grandmother would say, "F you, folks." And you can get away with it because it's actually a crafted joke. If the swearing has to do with the joke, and if you need the swearing for the joke, it's a backwards say, right? If you need the swearing for the joke, it's not funny, and if you need, anyway. But if it makes the joke funnier.
But there's a venue for everything, and I created that venue. And also, I needed an alternative for what Toronto has been used to.
Right.
And I will bring up everybody from Mark Breslin to Yuck Yucks because I wanted to set myself aside from that type of comedy so people have an alternative. I wasn't there to compete. I was there to present something different and something of a different type for a palate.
And I understood that. I understood that. It just seems that in the realm of comedy, not entertainment, not like the Blue Man Group or, you get 12 guys and they're all stomping. That's all variety entertainment as well. But that's not what your stage was. It was still on the skew of comedy. And it seemed like in the world of comedy, most of it's one guy or two guys standing on stage telling jokes, not really utilizing the stage around them, not even a little bit.
Right.
So we found ourselves booking a lot of stand-ups. I mean, but Michael Winslow, this is what I mean. Michael Winslow is a variety performer.
Well, I gave people that variety. They wanted something else. Come during the times when I'm booking the outrageous or variety type acts. If you want comedy, that's available too. But the bottom line, it's funny.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
And how about you? Are you in Toronto anytime soon?
Not really, but I am doing a show for the TED, which is basically ideas presented to people how to think and how to be and how to react with their life, and I'm part of that.
No, that's in Toronto.
Mid-November.
That's in Toronto. Mostly, you're in the COCA. You deal with colleges, and universities.
I do colleges across the U.S., across Canada, worldwide. Actually, right now dealing with the possibility of going to India.
India, nice. I know you're in Dubai. We have family in Dubai,
which is an unbelievable place. A little while ago, went to visit the troops with something called Operation Hot.
HOT?
HOT, which is honoring our troops. That's the acronyms. And one guy in Houston who is a chef decided, I'm going to take a team of a bunch of other chefs, feed and entertain the troops. And I was part of that in the initial run, and then they invited me back in, last year.
That's fantastic. So, as you know, doctors get doctors out of their lives. They raise their children and say, maybe you should be a doctor. And dentists get dentists. And lawyers get lawyers. Accountants get accountants. What's the saying? The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Oh, as a matter of fact, something that I say all the time. Yes.
And I have a lot of apples because they just taste so good. So I find myself trying to introduce my family to what it is that I do, and so they can be a part of my day. And so this is my apple that didn't fall too far from the tree. So I bring him with me with his own segment, and here he is. So you have the microphone.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
So you're gonna do TED Talks, and you are my dad's mentor, and you performed all around the world. So what up?
What up? What's next for me? Honestly, one of the best things that I've ever done is never limit myself and find a higher ceiling, if you like. So always go for things that everybody said you can't. And everything that they said I can't, I did. So I keep growing that way and trying to see what else I can do that's next, that's even bigger and better than the one before. And I'm never satisfied, so I always keep going for something else. Even like the place where you and your dad and I met initially was a comedy club. Everybody said, I can't. Who are you to go up against another comedy club that was considered to be the king of comedy at the time. And I said, why not? I'm just another person trying to do something different. And I did. Even people that, as we were coming up, would say, you're never going to succeed. It lasted for 10 years, and it got closed down because I felt it was time to move on, not because of anything else.
Anything else there, Mr. Benjamin?
Can you hypnotize me?
You want to be hypnotized. Actually, you're hypnotized all the time. You slip in and out of trance, and that trance creates who you are. Do you ever talk to yourself in your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do. So the way I would say, when you hypnotize yourself, just tell yourself all of the positive things that you can ever tell yourself instead of all of the negatives. We all call ourselves stupid, or I didn't do this right, or whatever. And do the opposite. You can do this. You can be whatever you want to be, and just never stop.
Do you understand that? He's saying your inner voice, when you say, man, I'm so stupid, he's suggesting, let it sink in. You're not stupid.
Oh, and I noticed you're using the words "let it sink in." That's my keyword on stage. It's almost a trademark.
Well, I'm using it like a trademark.
Well, it is.
Yeah, good.
In the sense where that's my keyword on stage, where I open up the people to all of the suggestions that are about to receive. So when you hear me say this, whatever that might be, and then deep under my voice, you'll hear, and let it sink in. That's exactly how it will come off on stage. So the let it sink in part is literally let that suggestion stick with you, and stick with you as long as you want to. And that's what I'm trying to do all the time. Everything I do, and over the years, I have become what I do on stage, where I became the positive guy. You know how some people make you feel good about being around them?
Yep.
I want to be that guy.
Okay.
I want to be...
You feel good being around Boris?
Okay.
And comfortable and fun. Because there's some people who give you positive energy. There are some people that suck it out of you. I surrounded myself with people who create that positive energy and make me feel good about me, and the other way around. I try to make them feel good about themselves.
Okay.
Anything else, mister?
How do you hypnotize people?
I just talk to them. Because all it is, think of your mind, and that's partially what I'm going to be doing at the TED Talk. Think of your mind as a computer. It just reacts to all of the things that you tell it to, all of the suggestions, whether that might be society telling you how things should be done, or you yourself telling how you should lead your life, or how positive you are, how, I don't feel so good today, I don't know what it is. Or you say the complete opposite, oh, I feel amazing, and if I don't feel quite right, it's going to change. It's only going to get better.
Okay, well, I'm a big fan of apples. So you can't. I treat them like chips.
Right, computers or
no, the apples. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I'm so anti. I don't know what it is. It's almost like Volvo people. There's a problem with them. People don't line up for PC computers. You don't line up. You already have one in your pocket, but you need the new one.
The new, better one that does this a little bit different.
Nope. You, my friend, are broken. Like, you're actually showing me, because I'm outside watching this, knowing this is what alcoholism looks like to someone who's never had a drink. What is wrong with you people?
Right, you're looking at society. What did they create? I'll tell you the whole psychology of Apple. It's making things simple where you don't have to do stuff.
I don't want to talk about Apple so much. I want to not.
Okay.
Let's talk about why everyone should own a PC. Go out and buy a PC, get a Google phone, and say goodnight.
Well,
Okay.
Well, you know me. I've always been a computer guy, and the gadgets that simplified stuff, I was all over that, from being one of the first touch screen systems in the club, because we actually had to speed up, because, comedy is a tough business.
No, you did, right?
That way.
Right, you did
in
have
the
all
darkness.
the you did have all the technologies. You had the thing on the face that you could talk, and the computer saw the words.
Oh, right, exactly.
That was a PC.
That was a PC.
Yeah, I'm
so
just saying, the
dictating,
technology
stuff.
was, yeah.
But in the dark, specifically in a comedy club, a bunch of people, let's say 300 people, are sitting in a room. They need to get their orders so quickly, and the way to speed things up is instead of writing stuff down, passing it along to the bartender, the chef, whoever might be in the background, there was a touch screen system that the waitstaff keyed it in, and the actual
Okay, so you're saying as a
chip,
producer
was coming out.
Okay, so as a
with-
producer, person that owned a club, you're saying the better technologies actually are making less people do more work to feed 300 people.
Right, exactly, at the
Okay.
same time. So
I
things were
hate
coming
this
out
company
quicker.
so much. I need to move, and so I like chips. I like to eat a lot of chips. So I have another chip that wants to ask you a question. That's all. I was doing a segue that turned into a bit, and it's I don't edit this show, so I'm going to let you tell people that they should buy this crappy computer stuff.
No,
I heard
buy
you. I was
whatever
here.
fits you.
Yeah.
There.
No, don't buy anything. Don't buy anything. Whatever you have right now is more than you probably need. I promise you. So now one of the chips wants to ask you another question. Can you say hello? Just can you put your face up to the microphone and say hello so I can hear you?
Hello.
That's
Hi.
great. All right. So please, this is the incredible Boris. He's a good friend of mine, also a mentor. And you have a couple of questions for him. Could you please?
What's your favorite thing to eat?
Oh, my favorite thing to eat has always been sushi. Believe it or not, even with my wife, I took her on some of our first dates to a sushi place and introduced her to it. Now that we go out and eat sushi together. But one of the greatest ones was actually eating sushi in Japan.
Eating sushi in Japan. So they got good sushi in Japan?
I had to compare.
That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. So I wonder if the sushi's good. What's your favorite sushi?
I actually like the raw fish stuff. So
Wow. Can you eat raw fish, Sammy?
salmon.
That's a good answer.
No, as a kid growing up, lox was it's basically salted fish. So this is not that far of an extension.
Yeah. Gotta crack that code with some locks. So, sir, do you have any other questions?
What's your favorite thing to do?
Okay, remember this is a kid show?
Yeah, my favorite thing to do is, believe it or not, I always have a need for information. So probably surfing on the web, looking stuff up.
I don't think I've actually given you access. Hey, you know when you're searching for a game when you're at Booby's house?
Yeah.
He's always searching for games.
Yeah, well, sort of. But instead of games, I need information, and that's never stopped. I constantly keep feeding myself more and more and trying to create more stuff. If I find a little bit more about what your shirt is like, I'll research how come that shirt is green.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to ask?
Actually, that's all.
Well, thank you very much for being so honest.
Well,
Honesty is really
thank
important.
you.
And if you could you go ask the other chip to come sit down into bowl? Yeah. I'm gonna put some chips in a bowl and bring them out to you. So I do have 3 chips. You have 2 chips.
Chips. Are you referring to the chip that I have on my stage, or?
No, that's good too. CHIP. I am not talking about that chip, but it's such
No,
a
but
beautiful
it is
name,
a
and how
good
can you not
reference,
remember
yeah.
such a beautiful
Well,
name?
There's a reason why that came into play.
Yeah, I'm assuming you wrote that, but I'm assuming you own that.
Everything that you see on my stage has been written and/or embellished from my imagination. The way I started, it was actually really, really odd. I didn't have anybody else teaching me. I was young. The first time I got paid doing this, I was 17. So
Hold on, you got paid at 17?
yeah.
It's so okay.
I didn't have anyone to emulate, so I read a book. There's that need for information, which basically told me about hypnosis, and I didn't know if it was real, but I needed to find out more. So I created, and a lot of the routines came from me playing around at parties as a young kid. I go to parties to hang out with my friends and find maybe a girl to hang out with too, and that was a way to impress them.
Right. I like the girls. I like to impress girls, and that's a reason to be comedy. I think a reason to do some comedy.
It gave me a reason to be different.
It's funny though when you hear the story about comedians with girls, they're not very good with the girls. It doesn't seem to be.
I was amazing.
No,
Okay.
But you're an entertainer. We're the Rat Pack. You know what I mean? Like we're doing other things. But when I hear people just talking about I am just a comedian, I mean, I get up there, I take up the microphone, and that's when I become the most powerful. I become then off stage. I don't need to talk to anybody, and I don't know how to make eye contact with ladies until you have more money than you know what to do with. And then the ladies are like, listen, you got to look at me. You're worth cash.
Right.
Like they take more initiative than they ever did before to get your attention.
That never impressed me.
No, I'm not saying
actually, my wife, I'll say this right now, she was not impressed with what I did on stage. She was impressed with me.
I want to talk more about the wife in just a second, but my chip just sat down. I want to talk
hello.
Okay, I want to get a hello. Can you say hello?
Hello.
Yeah, take the microphone closer to your face. If you can't hear yourself, we can't hear you. No, it moves. The microphone moves.
I can.
Touch the microphone and move it.
Yeah, just pull it down.
Pull it down.
There we go.
Pull it down and now talk it right into that.
Hello there.
Hello.
Just keep talking right into that microphone, and now it's your show.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color, take a look around you, orange.
I think you're colorblind. Oh, you're not talking about take a look around you. Take a look.
Well, no, I'm actually looking in that direction. That's
because we're sitting in a yellow room.
Yeah, this room,
is yellow.
Yellowish. It'll be changing soon.
What's your favorite number?
My favorite number is 13.
And why do you like both of them?
Why do I like both of them? Well, orange, I don't know. Orange has always caught my eye. Orange is bright enough that it's different and it's outrageous, and I'm not like anybody else.
I would have said it was purple because of the club. I would have thought for
club,
sure. So how did they become purple?
We researched the club. That was really
The number.
the number.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. We'll talk about this.
Yeah, we'll
Thank
get
you.
back
Keep us
to
on
the
track.
color.
You might as well keep us on track. That's important.
Good for you. Good
Thank you,
host.
Kanan. Yes.
Number 13 has always been lucky for me. Everybody else said 13 is a bad number. It's not the right number. I actually, at that point in time, I lived in a condo on the 13th floor when we opened up the club, if you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, right.
And everything that I have done, 13 has always been lucky for me. It just, people say it's bad luck, and for me, it was complete opposite.
I think my son has to go to the washroom.
I think so too. I think he
Yeah,
really.
that was go ahead. That's...
In the meantime, I'll tell you. Oh, you know where it is? It's right there to your right.
Yeah.
Keep going.
He keeps telling you right. Anyways,
yeah.
you go south and then go west. Right.
Well, we researched
Young man.
the color of the club, and I wanted pictures of comedians on the walls, but them to be bigger than life, just like what you would see. And they probably don't even know that, but guys from Penn and Teller to...
okay, now he's explaining the inside graphics of what it was. It was a 400-seat room plus, and it was a purple room, like Barney had exploded, and about 4.5 feet wide, high, are these portraits, just the heads of as he was just explaining, Penn and Teller in the corner, just two heads. We had Jerry Lewis. We had there was everyone was recognizable by their face. Any of the
it's funny, as the time progressed, the older characters people started forgetting. Gene Wilder was the one that
Groucho
people
Marx, right?
would not recognize properly. Charlie Chaplin.
Right.
So all of those characters were there. But the reason behind the Purple Club, we were researching what color to make the club, and came across, and there's the need for information once again, that purple makes people eat.
I don't think I knew that, but it explains Barney.
Yeah, it literally the color purple was conducive to people getting hungry and eating, and since we were serving burgers, of course, they need to make the.
That's
club
like the
purple.
bar. It's like that bar show that's on television. Okay, so there's some more information if you want to run your own club.
Yeah, and I wanted it to be not black like every other club at the time, for the simple reason I wanted to have more of a theater feel.
No, it did.
In comparison to,
but the drapes were painted on.
Right.
Right.
And the drapes were there. If the club was not busy, we actually had a way to make the club look busy and look.
Oh no,
full.
he's talking about to make the you're talking about the dividing drapes.
Oh,
I was
and
talking
they were
about
doing
the drapes that were
on
painted
the
on,
stage.
and you're like, yes, they're there, and you were explaining how they were painted on. No, we had pull drapes so you could close the layers, the levels on the side, the risers, and turn it into like a 200 plus venue.
Right, and
Yeah.
which, considering it was not busy at some point in time, or for one reason or another, people didn't come.
Yeah.
That place looked busy all the time.
Right, working in a strip mall. So here you are now. Basically, this is what you wanted to do. You're now doing it. You're the traveling performer. You told me the road is where you get yourself stronger. So that's what you made me do.
Oh, it did that for me.
me as
Doing
well.
back in the olden days, and I came up through what was called the heyday of comedy, the big boom, where you honed your craft. And back in those days, the schedule would be you arrive on a Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday were easy nights, where you only have one show. And then starting as of Thursday, you have 2 shows, Thursday, 3 Friday, 3 Saturday, 2 on Sunday.
Well, you weren't traveling with your wife.
No, back in the olden days, that
This
was
is what we're talking about. So the next stage forward is now that we're married men,
Mm-hmm.
and we're still keeping ourselves in the realm of being entertainers. What's the key? You're married a little longer than me, and I'm
this year 20 years.
Yeah, and Mazel Tov to you and to Daphne. That's fantastic. So that's one of the things that I'm actually I'm reveling in. I'm telling people. I want people to know why relationships are lasting long, and that's why I'm asking. What keeps your what keeps this this thing working now that you're in the realm of traveling performer?
Quality time. When I'm home, I'm really am home.
Present. You're present.
I'm present. I'm doing stuff. I don't know. Literally, just the other day, I did some stuff around the garage that I can show you later.
Oh,
but,
that's going to be a sweet leather swing. I'm pretty
right,
sure.
exactly. But the time that I spend somewhere is quality time.
Quality
So,
time.
Whether that might be traveling and performing, because when I'm on the road, when I'm still on the road, easily 150, 200 actual days out of the year.
Right, because of travel days as well as the performing days and the 12 shows when you get there.
Oh, right,
in
exactly.
Vegas, it was 6 shows. It was 6 hours of performing when I was in Vegas.
Oh, nice.
Is that nice?
Well, sometimes I actually make fun of it. It takes longer to get to the show than the actual show itself.
Maybe your show because you're on a main stage.
Doesn't make a difference.
I was in the lobby, and it was 6 hours.
So for you to come downstairs, yeah.
No, it was 6 hours. And then you hit 15-minute break, and then you come back. It was 45-minute sets,
Oh, right.
6 of them.
I'm talking about a traveling performer. You're actually staying in Vegas for a little bit.
Right. Well, for the week.
Yeah.
Or for 2 weeks. Getting your name on the marquee. That was
But
fun.
I'm glad I did that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I
no,
got
I'm
a
happy to
chance
travel again. But
for-
the kids, how do you see? My wife won't let me go away longer than 2 weeks, and there's no gig on the planet that I'm willing to just because I don't make that kind of money. I have to make 3 trips there and back to make that make sense.
It was never about the money for me.
It's not about the money, but I have to make it make sense.
But you have to pay bills.
Yes,
I get it. I
exactly.
completely get it.
So my car is going to be worth less going wherever I'm driving to or flying to,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the other end, I have to now be making proper headliner feature money, and that's not what I'm actually ever looking for. I'm always looking to be a part of a circuit. So it's 3 weeks or 3 months. I mean, the casinos. Have you been on the not casinos? Cruise lines. Have you?
Well, I have done cruises.
Right. And how many months did you have to sign on for?
I did not, and that's why you don't see me on a cruise ship right now.
No, that's what I mean.
Because I
3
actually
months,
I
6
turned
months?
it down.
It's too much
on
time.
numerous occasions.
It's too much
They offered
time.
me 6 to 8 month contracts.
No, that's what they offer, and they're going to let.
They have changed recently, so I'm actually considering
Yeah.
of doing some cruise ships at this
Yeah.
point in time.
I would love to bring my guitar out and have proper sing-alongs and have some fun up on the cruise ships. Do some Wi-Fi live streaming.
The problem
from
is, I found myself lonely.
No, you bring everybody. You bring your wife.
No, I'll tell you this. This is one of the reasons why I didn't stick around on cruise ships, because it happened just after 9/11 was the last place I ever went to,
Right.
where my little one, my daughter was about a year old at the time, and I'm dropping her off at daycare, where I'm dropping her off at daycare, and I'm heading to the airport straight afterwards. I'm on a plane to Tokyo.
Right.
And she grabs me by the foot. Daddy, don't go.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So so it's the long-term contracts that keep me where I'm at, and you're not doing the crazy long-term travel.
Right. Most of my travel is a week or two, or maybe long distances.
20 years, man. I want to give a reason for the 20 years, and it is being present when you're here, and you're not going away for 6 months at a time.
Right.
Okay.
But I still go away, and that's what Daddy or husband does.
No, I know, but not for 6 months. I'm just saying, you're not a minor. I mean, a minor.
Right.
You know what I mean, minor. Under the ground, not under 14.
Right. It's what I do. It's part of me. It re-energizes me.
No, I understand the road. I'm talking about
they
lift
understand
the
that
other
part of
side.
it.
Yeah, the other side.
So they know that when Daddy's working, first of all, this place gets paid for, and the lights are still on. So that's what it's all about. It's and they understand, but there's also the psychological side of it where I'm able to be that happy guy, because there's the positive and negative side to performing. You crave being on stage, and crave not necessarily to release something for the affection of the strangers. I laugh on stage as well.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that,
right,
that
no.
gives me the reason to move on to the next show. I love
Making people laugh.
Yeah, being able to have people forget about whatever happened in their life at that point in time,
Right.
and be in the moment that I created.
Right. You did 3 things for me, I guess. You gave me the crazy strong stage legs, because I worked. I was your house MC, so I was working a lot. I got crazy strong on stage, just for the strength of being there. And then you took me and put me in the front of the largest audience I'd been in front of, which was about 5,000 people.
What was
it
this?
was the Windsor University, and it was the whole thing. It was daisy chained, and I was singing a song, so it was very difficult to sing a song. So like, hello, 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 how, I gotta sing. This is gonna suck. That was my day, and then of course you helped me quit smoking. Because with the hypnosis, and because you have a tape or a CD. Now everyone's downloading and digitally doing stuff nowadays. Are you iTunes somewhere where someone pays
Not
their
$20, but I actually have it available on my website.
It is
So
available.
you can download it.
Oh, well, there it is. So it's on the website, and that
The
website.
website just went 3.0, meaning you can actually look at it on your phone.
Is that what 3.0 means?
No, I just created that.
Oh, look at you, Windows 22. That's the part I put in.
All right.
Look at you. I have no idea. USB 3. It's like you're making something.
No,
SATA.
I'm making it up.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
making
changed the website over to be accessible from no matter what
Right.
you're looking at the website on.
Because you did hypnotize me, and then the second you get hypnotized by Boris, you're now more susceptible to be hypnotized again. But there's certain things that didn't work for me. Like I woke up on stage, so I was hypnotized. So I know it works because I wanted it to work. And he also helped me, as I said, give me a suggestion to not smoke. Even though I started still smoking, I found myself really knowing I was smoking. Like it wasn't like...
All right, you become aware of stuff.
Right, like I wasn't driving. You know, you drive sometimes and you find yourself getting home. Like, how did I get home? It's because you were hypnotized. That's what you're talking about, the day-to-day.
Highway
So I would
hypnosis,
have, how did this cigarette get lit in my hand? There wasn't one cigarette after Boris where I was like, why am I smoking? And it was so very matter-of-factly that I was very aware of it. So it made me easier to quit.
Right, and
you want to
as
not
a
smoke.
hypnotist, and I'll tell you this, you can't quit smoking because somebody tells you to or somebody hypnotizes you.
You have to want
You
it.
actually have to want to.
Yeah.
All a hypnotist does reinforces your willpower.
That's what it did. It made me hear me and saying, you have a son, and if you keep putting tobacco to your lips, you have no recourse when he starts smoking and killing himself.
Right. And I really don't like
Right.
when other people with hypnosis give you an aversion to something where you hate when things smoke. You should just be able to quit on your own rather than because of a disgust of something.
Right. And so of late, I do have your your CD rather, and again, I'm this New Year's for Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. I thought I could do something for myself, and I was like, I wanted to stop taking things so personally, right? And I can't seem to stop. So don't take things personally. And so and I'm trying to kind of release that. And then from don't take things personally, don't hold a grudge. If I can learn not to hold the grudge, and you wronged me, I cannot for the life of me.
Really?
I do not know how to
I
let
must
go.
not have ever wronged you.
No, you fired me daily. What you did do is that you never did things behind my back. Even when it was crazy bad stuff, even when you're like, hey Adam, you're not being booked on this show, it was never behind my back. It was everything. It was always to my face.
Yeah, I don't lie. I don't.
Well, you might, but you're talking
actually,
to me.
Even I'll tell you this, and it has been almost a curse in a way. When I was booking, I booked acts for my audience when I was booking at the club, and I would tell people straight off, "I'm sorry, you don't fit what I'm looking for." And I got a little flack for that, but I didn't waste somebody else's time, not wasted my time. I just told people how it is, and when you're straight with people, you're not lying to them. I will tell you how I feel about you rather than
right. But will that work for the? Will it lower
Absolutely.
So on that tape, if part of my dealio is I want to stop taking things personally. See, I know you'll help me lower stress, which is part of that will allow me to hear myself. But it's the holding the grudge and taking it personally. Will you be able to? Is that part of your? What are you doing?
Absolutely, I will get something for you. Hang on.
Oh yeah, Xanax. I'm assuming it's something like that. We're actually only got a couple of minutes left, so I got another thing here from Boris. Okay, well, thank you very much.
It's a brand new one, new batch of them that have been produced.
Okay, so all right, so I'm definitely going to be listening to this when I get home. All right, so we're getting into the last. Where are we? We're at 50 minutes.
Oh wow, we've been talking well.
Well, yeah, but we're just talking about what really interests us, and I'm really happy for that because I really want to lower. This year, I got to stop. I want to do better for people. Like what you always brought to the table was like, are you ready to make the people laugh? Are you ready to make the people laugh? And it's like, yeah, I am. I actually want to make the people laugh, which makes that whole experience of getting in your car, traveling 17 hours that way to get on stage. You guys ready to laugh? I'm not kidding.
Right. And things change for me as well when instead of trying to please others, I try to please myself.
That's I think was the problem. I was basically like an Andy Kaufman about the whole thing because of the I was only pleasing myself. Because I'm thinking these are funny. So I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Don't you see how it's funny?
Then you have to stop questioning. If you know something is
no,
funny,
I know. We have to keep.
Then you barrel right along because I know it's funny.
Yeah, but the problem is it's all
you
premise.
people are not quite on the same wavelength.
Yeah,
Get on that wavelength, then you make
That's
sure
the problem. It's A, B, and C. I found myself doing a lot of jokes that were A, C, and missing the B. So I was doing setup, punch without the. You know why that's like that? There's always two guys that come into a bar. The third guy is the joke.
the 50-foot woman.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's like 3 plus, right, the 50-foot woman. That's a whole nother joke. But that's late show stuff, ladies and gentlemen. But if you ever made love to a 50-foot woman, come to a club that I'm working at. And then just yell at 50-foot woman. I would not stop. I probably...
Never mind. Just before you even
could
finish
be a bar
this,
mitzvah.
I taught him how to do that thing cleanly.
Well, that's the point. That was the point. You're the dirty ones. I'm putting up a tent. All right. What you see and what I'm doing are two different things. It's a noogie, people. One man's loving it. So you also we went to Just for Laughs together.
Yes.
We both performed, and we went there as industry/performers, and it was the most surreal time because it was the first time, because this was before Vegas for me, that it was just the business of the business.
Well, I have a soft thing for Just for Laughs, just because they started pretty well about the same time as me and grew into something huge. And I always wanted to be a part of it and make it grow and try and give people exposure. Yeah, it is a business. I completely get it. The exposure to the masses that they might not have been able to get to. And Montreal, just because of the tourist area, the beauty of the summer and everything else, everybody tends to converge in that area. And if you've never been, go, whether you're in
Talking about Just for Laughs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love the place, the people, and they love to laugh. And I've made many trips to Montreal from colleges and universities to performing at the festival itself. It's something special. So if you get a chance, go.
You know, well through Comedywood, I think mostly. I don't think I went on my independent self working that way. I booked myself through Comedywood all the way through Montreal, doing the universities. We did the universities and the colleges. Montreal was a great place to work. You're right. They're definitely open to a lot more things, and I was really happy. So yeah, in Montreal doing comedy, I didn't feel like I was being held back. You also sent me to China, which was its own reward. What was the best part about China, of course, is that about the winter. You know, they told you it was winter going to China, and winter's 22 degrees.
All right.
Yeah,
It's a little bit cool, but it's okay. You might need a sweater.
Sweater? I was walking around in my underwear, watching people in parkas shaking at me, looking at Qixing Guailo, which means crazy white devil. And, you know, so I'm going to change my name when I go back to China with a little Qixing Guailo. I also enjoyed that they had Canada Town. You know, here in Canada, we have Chinatown. There they have Little Canada Town, and you show up, and it's truly Canadians living as expatriates in China.
Right. It's actually kind of interesting to perform specifically for expats in different countries, and I've done that from, Dubai and Amsterdam to wherever. They show up.
Right. Right. No. For me in China, it was an English lesson. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
And for them, it's something that they were missing for a long time, and they show up in droves.
Colloquialisms. They actually want to see it work. The second they see the interaction of back and forth of the conversation, they're actually looking to see how, the working language works, not the written language.
Right, because they miss it.
How do you
they're in a completely different environment, craving just a little bit of
Yeah,
English.
yeah. And Little Britain was just around the corner, and we didn't get along.
Sometimes different stuff. Well,
Denounce the Queen and get out of there is all I want to say.
And they're from all over. Australians, from Britain, from Canada, U.S., you name it. Anybody who speaks English, those are the ones that show
On our way to Just for Laughs, because we actually went there together.
Yes.
We got hungry.
Boy, did we ever.
Yeah, we got a little hungry.
Everything was closed. I think it was early enough during the day, and we couldn't find anything to eat.
No, everything was closed on these little offshoots. We didn't want fast food specifically, and Montreal is known for a bunch of things. And one of them, of course, in my world, is women that take their clothes off, and they're very pretty at doing it normally.
Normally is the key word.
Yeah.
But
the first two
there's
places
a place in Montreal. That's not quite Montreal.
Yeah, it's on the outskirts.
It's on the outskirts
of Montreal, just before you get into the core of Montreal. And
well, let me preface this for a second. Somewhere along the lines, the conversation went this way. Oh, where there's great food, strip joints.
Yes, there is normally, and there's something like a taboo to eat. I mean, if you're going to buy a $5 sandwich anyways, you might as well do it while people are getting naked. I mean, I'm telling the kids that. Seriously, if you have the money, it's its own just reward. Other people were like, I can't, Dad, can we get out of here? This is weird. But you have to be 18. This is an 18.
Oh, right, and you have boys. I have
3 boys. Yeah, you have 2 girls. Clearly, when you told me you were taking them dancing, I was like, are there poles on the stage?
No
poles.
They dance competitively, and those are different type of dance.
It doesn't have to be. I think if you brought that to the pole, it might work out. Not that I'm wishing that on your daughter, but it's just a job. Okay, sorry. No. You are a dad of daughters, so it's more fun for me than it is for you.
Yeah, the jokes are being written on their own.
Yeah, so we walked into 2 places. Well, first one
we
was
didn't
closed.
walk into. We started looking.
Right, fair enough. The second one we walked into, it seemed open, but there was nobody there.
Right. Well, I believe it was probably around noon. It was right around lunchtime, and
because we were hungry. It had to have been around noon because we were hungry.
Where are the girls? Well, the girls must be sleeping.
The girls. Where are the girls? They're in the back, and I always picture them like a lion's den, just intertwined and sleeping in the back.
They were not your top-notch performers.
Top-notch.
Even the weight stuff.
Yeah. So the manager sat us down, and a girl walked in.
We were wondering why the place was open.
Because Flo came out. Anyway, she wasn't a very pretty girl. And then at that point where we realized that we must have been off off Broadway.
And for many years later, the joke just still keeps going.
All you have to do is
where
say
are
off
you?
Broadway.
Off Broadway.
That's right. And then we
as
both
many
know.
offs as you would put in
Right.
front of it.
Right. And if we were making that show, if we were going to be in that show, so where you're performing off Broadway, we knew there's naked chicks in the back. That's all we knew.
All right, and oddly enough, comedy and the strippers go hand in hand because a lot of times on the Sundays, and this is me going way back when, on the Sundays, the girls are off because a lot of places will not allow dancing, pole dancing on Sundays.
Where
By
are
law, I
you?
don't
Where
know.
in the world are you that you can't have?
Specifically in the Kentuckys and Texas, some places. But the girls would come out to the comedy clubs on Sundays.
Oh, I see. And then
they
come
would
on
be
to come onto the
rowdiest
stage.
and the funnest ones that they're much better than the bachelorette parties.
Well, yeah, because they're willing to get naked, and at this point, it could be a freebie, which could be nice. I honestly, I've never really worked for a bunch of strippers before. It's never been a part of my.
Oh,
Never
okay.
been a part of
I
my
saw
night.
that all over comedy clubs that I worked through.
Well, I'm actually not too sure how this is going to go. The kids outside are understanding that men have other urges, and women go out and they do that thing too. It's called Open Mic, I think is the name of the movie, and go out there and see that, or Full Frontal. I don't know what it's called. I have to apologize, but that's basically our time. That's an hour. Do you believe it?
Oh wow!
Yeah.
It went by really fast.
It did, and I told those 3 stories that I wanted to get out there. You're going to be showing up in November for the TED Talks,
Yes, for the
and
TED
it's for the
Talks.
youth. So my kid could come out there for the Ontario Science Center.
I think it's more for the high school.
Oh, so he's
college,
too young. So
yeah.
college, okay. So not that kind of youth. All right,
Youth
and
that are about to be energized for the workforce and to be the leaders of society.
okay, and there's tickets available for that for the Ontario.
That I don't know.
You don't know.
I
You're
will
just
find
you're
out,
just performing. Okay. Is there a website on your website to get tickets for that yet, or no?
Absolutely. It's TEDx Toronto.
Fair-
TEDx Youth. Sorry.
And that's on your website. And of course, it's the incredibleBoris.com, which is
Or you can always find me through comedywood.com, which I still stand by that name.
Oh, okay. Well, comedywood.com then. I'd rather see you there. So that was great. So I'd like to thank my kids for basically not.
I'd like to thank your kids. I love the questions that come out of kids. They
that's good.
are straight, they are forward, and they're honest.
Well, my kids try. They can all 3 of them lie straight to your face. Did you eat that cookie? No. No, I did not eat that. All 3 of my kids, so they can lie straight to my face. So I'm trying to work that out. So when they go, did you steal that car? Is that your baby? I want to know these things now. I want to know how to read them now. So I'd like to thank them. I'd like to thank the incredible Boris for giving up his time and for the last 15, 20 years of being able to do what I do. He's certainly one of the reasons that I build yourself with people around you that you want to aspire to. That makes everything a little bit stronger as well. So I'm Adam Powell. This has been live from my bedroom on location. See you later, Boris.
Good to see you again.